All right, so it is burn day finally. We've been putting this off for weeks. Kind of had the burn breaks already set in weeks ago just because I've been waiting for the perfect weather. I got a little bit of wind today. It's up to 10 or 15 miles an hour, but it's pretty steady. Honestly would like a little bit of wind just because it helps carry that fire a little bit. And if you play it right and you know what you're doing, you can work against this wind and it can really do a good job for you. So what we're doing is the wind's coming out of the south. We're on the north side of this area that we're going to be burning. We're going to create a blackened zone from where we're starting here. We've got, I don't know if you can see, but you can probably hear the wind. You can see the blown trail down the old logging road, and then the other one will be up here in the food plot. We also have a road, so it's not going to get out here, and we've got a road on the back side. This is the most troublesome area, so this is where we're going to take our time to start off a little bit. Just because it's where it could easily cross if it's going to cross, and that's just why we're going to start on this area. Get that back burn, and we'll work against the wind, get a back burn going in the woods so we don't have to worry about it getting across through there. And then we'll probably just loop up and around and go on the road all the way around the perimeter and just let it work itself in. What needs to burn needs to burn. We might have time to hop off on the other side and do the Savannah area. So we'll just see what we have time for today. Should get a really good burn. We had to wait, it's 1 o'clock or so, had to wait for that humidity to drop, and it's dried out over the last few days pretty good. We got rain coming in tomorrow, so it's now, and again, it's like we've been encountering all season so far. It's like it's today or it's not for another week or so, and at this point it's getting pretty late in the burn season for what I'm wanting to do. So we're going to get through here and burn this. You can see it's a pretty cool area. Back here, this is the Savannah area that I've really improved. The timber stand's been reduced down drastically last year, and now we're going to come in and prescribe burn it. So it should catch really well through here, should burn pretty hot, and then really just promote a lot of grasses and forbs on this hill slope, really holding the deer and the turkey right up here against the food plots. So we'll see how it goes and get started. Also, partner in crime there, got Dad. He's got the rakes there, and ready to go. Called it in, they're ready on backup, but this shouldn't be any problem even with the little bit of wind we have. So as you can tell, it is ripping right now. So still kind of working slightly against the wind. The wind at times is blowing right up that hill, which is fine. It's that this road right here that I'm on is a spot that I don't want it to cross over. Up on top of this hill, it's a big green food plot. It's a big road. It's my driveway. So I have no worries about it crossing up there. So anywhere that you're going to have any worries at all that it could possibly cross, take those areas, take some time on those, and make sure you start them first, and then take your trouble areas out, and then you can kind of focus on the rest. So that's what we're doing here. Starting to produce some smoke. Won't be long. We're on this big old ridge top way up here, way above the road, so everybody will see this around for miles. So we'll get call-ins for sure, but we've already called it in and they know what we're doing out here. And get down here. Patience is key when you're doing this, especially in like the Ozark and hilly areas, because you can have a predominant wind and that wind is going to swirl, especially in these hollers and hillsides. So we're just then, like, we've been having a pretty good like southwesterly wind. All of a sudden it switched and now it's coming more easterly, southeasterly, wanting to blow it across this trail. So that's why we really take our time establishing these burn lines, and then we like to come in and kind of let it do its thing after that. But at this point, we're getting pretty close. We're about halfway down this hill right now. Really nice burn break. Some of it's already finished burning all the way up to the top of the hill, which is fine, and it's put itself out. But I'd rather take my time and be safe than sorry, because it can take 2 seconds and this can be out of hand. But it's going good so far. Taking a little shelter down here behind this tree, kind of off the bluff side. You can tell it's burning hot as it goes up that hill. Really nice burn break, working in really well. We're down here to the bottom where we got to cross this little washout creek. It's just a tighter spot, so we'll work it slow, work up this hill, and then finally let it roar. You can see right there some debris kind of swirling. That's why I like to work these slow, especially in these haulers, because you get this debris swirling like this. I want to make sure no hot spots touch down and take off. So once we do that, then we'll go. There's a fire up here. Whew. It's just that little swirl. Whew. That's fun. You can see it swirling as it goes up. I want it to go that way. Keep going that way. It's a lot of smoke though. Whew. Well, I was running up here. I saw it when I was on video.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, there's a fire!
Like, hey, why don't you go down?
I was just talking about how it could swirl and it could jump real easy. And that's why I do these little segments. And then, sure enough, exactly what it did. Here's a smaller area that I cut in down at the bottom to the wash creek. I'll let it burn back a little bit, and then I'll feel really comfortable on it not crossing over here. But the slender, I knew this would be easy to control. All right, so here's a quick update. We came all the way down that hill, burning slowly. It's a long hill. You got way over a quarter mile, probably almost a half mile from up to the top all the way down to this area here. We got it burning kind of right now with the wind. The wind kind of shifted on us down here in the bottom. Wind is going predominantly south, but as you get down here in the bottom, that wind is swirling back up in. So I'm just kind of letting the fire work right now. Got a good burn break all the way up through the woods here. It's looking really good. Looking really smoky, but really good. It's worked out. We've only had that one spot jump. Sometimes we have 0 spots jump, but today we had a jumper. All right, so I don't even know how to look. Probably am covered in black soot and everything else. I don't even know how to look. Probably am covered in black soot and everything else. But anyway, round one's gone great. You can tell it's super smoky back here. It is still going. It's self-contained. There's no way it's going to escape. So now we feel comfortable to hop across the driveway, and we're going to come in on this side. You can see what we call Rebel Hill back here, the southernmost part of the property. We got the savanna up on top that we've made with the food plot on the back side, this big draw going through here. And I've been really aggressive on doing some TSI on this hillside, on both hillsides actually. And so coming in now a year, and even in some spots 2 years after doing a lot of heavy TSI, it's really going to help clean that up a lot more. It's just going to be a lot more attractive for turkeys to get in, easier for them to walk through, not feel like they're going to be preyed upon and snuck up on by predators. So I have Dad coming around this hill. He's going to meet me down at the bottom. It's kind of tricky on this one. We're going to have to start on these hillsides on where this wind's pushing down into, and let them back burn. And if there's a spot that's going to get out, it's going to be on these 2 hillsides. Once it gets up here, got a nice green food plot, got a road, and another green food plot up top. So I'm not worried about that. It's getting these hillsides taken care of, and then letting this side go. so it probably looked pretty bad. And this is dirty, but I'm gonna get cleaned up for the ending of the video. But anyway, Savannah looks really, really good. Got a little log pile here of trees that we cleared out from this area for firewood and didn't get to use it all, and it's starting to rot now, so we're gonna get rid of it. So we're just letting her burn there. I'm gonna get down this hauler, light a few spots, and then be done. Woo! All right, guys, so here we are. It is in between rain showers today, and it's about probably about 3 or 4 days after we've burned here in this area. And I want to show you guys the results, because this was by far the best burn that we've ever had here on the hunting grounds. Humidity was right, everything was dry enough, conditions were absolutely perfect. It actually got a little windy that day. If you guys saw in the video, there was a couple spots where it did jump the line, and that's why you got to be diligent and make sure you don't get ahead of yourself when you're out there burning. And there was no problems other than those 2 little jumps, and they were out within seconds. So I want to show you guys some of the results of this burn and what I'm looking forward to seeing from this burn. This area here looks really, really good. You can see a lot of these saplings that have come up since I've opened up the canopy. You can see how open this canopy is. It really makes this area like a tree savanna, and you can start to see a lot of saplings down through there. Now, some of these saplings were killed probably by the fire. Some of them got a little hot on the edges, and especially some of the hickories you'll find here and there that actually burnt all the way through and kind of fell over later. But that's okay with me, because I don't want these saplings to get too far that now they're going to create their canopy of their own, and then we're back to square one. So being that this is burnt off, you're starting to see even right here, there you go, starting to see a little bit of green up. There's some new shoots coming up there, which is super exciting to see. Love seeing that. There's even let's make sure this is going. Even some broadleaves that are now starting to pop up in here, and there's a variety of plants that are popping up in here that are green. And we're only 4 days out. Now, we've had a rain, which does make a big difference. You get a rain and a couple warm days on something like this, it really starts to make it crank. Now, there are some areas I'm going to take you guys to real quick that got a little bit hot, and I'm going to show you why I'm not too worried about that. But otherwise, this turned out absolutely great. I've got the loggers here right now. We'll be producing a video after this one showing what the loggers are doing on the property again, because it's been about 4 or 5 years, maybe 5 years or so since I had the loggers here, kind of changing up how I'm doing things based upon what I've learned this last time. And we're probably going to take a few of these trees out of the savanna, open it up a little bit more, and I'm going to show you guys how we're getting value out of our lumber that's going back into the property. But let me show you some stuff over here. This just looks great. It's really starting to clean this area up. Now, this was predominantly an area that was a lot of blackjacks. You know, 5 years ago, you can probably go watch a video where I came in here and I literally knocked down probably 100 blackjacks in this area. But now coming back in, cleaning some of this up, you can see there's really not a whole lot of debris left down, or fuel or anything down on the forest floor now that we've done. This is a second burn maybe, or third burn in this area, and it's really starting to clean it up. This is going to be the best year of production as far as like production in grasses and forbs for nesting and brooding and everything for quail and turkeys, and even fawning for the deer in this area. So let me show you a few of these areas that got a little hot. Now, this is a pretty unique little area. I really am a big proponent on creating edge. I love edge. I love edge, and what I'm talking about is edge up against the field. When I got this place, it was field, and it went straight into mature timber. And I started backing that up and thinning it out. And so as this grows up, what you're going to see, you can see some pretty tall height here, and it's going to almost triangle shape down into the field edge. Instead of being field edge bluntly into mature timber. There's no edge transition there. It's going to be a lot of transition in here. It's going to be briars, there's going to be saplings, grasses, and forbs. So we're going to have the manicured food plot. We're going to have probably about 20 or 30 yards of edge, and then we're going to get into the tree savanna. Now, because I came back in and thinned this out a little bit more, that's why I created these hot spots. There were a bunch of cedars, some young walnuts, just a bunch of trees that were taking up a lot of space and really not letting the edge habitat grow. This is where I'm going to get a lot of the turkeys wanting to come in and nest. This is where I want to get the rabbits coming in, and I need all that structure. I need all those other populations of prey on this place, so the predators are not only going after the turkeys and the deer. I want a good population of rabbits and rats and everything else that lives in this kind of area. So what happened is I came in and I had pushed some of this down with the tractor and kind of created kind of these little brush piles that I knew I was going to come in and burn. They weren't thick brush piles, they weren't holding any predators or anything like that, but they were hot enough. They were a lot of cedars. You can see there's a cedar right there that was in the middle of the whole brush pile and didn't even burn. But we might have that post oak, and I bet that walnut even lives, but had pockets of hot spots like this, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with these pockets dying off, and if I lose a tree or two, that's fine. And even with the loggers here right now, I can come in, and if there's any value in these, even for firewood, they can come in and cut these and haul them out. So I'm really not losing anything at that point. But I don't thin so much that if I go through and burn and I get too hot of a burning areas, then I kill some trees that I'm without trees. So anyway, it's looking really, really good. You can see there's a lot of raspberry bushes and blackberry bushes and everything right there. And I'm super excited about this area because it's definitely going to hold a lot of game right up here against the food plot. Now this is an area that came in and I cut down a lot of hickory for the most part. Hickory, blackjack, and undesirable trees open up the canopy, and you'll see that the landscape's really changing here on the hunting grounds. I'm going to predominantly a tree savanna throughout the entire property, really having these scattered trees even on the hillsides with a lot of grasses and forbs and under cover and brush and stuff underneath them. And I'm doing that for the majority of the property. In right here is a transition area where you can see we start to get into some pretty big timber right here on the edge. So we got kind of a tree savanna that I've come and it burned it out really well. And then pairing that up with the loggers that are here on this place right now, they're going to come in and then take this edge all the way down to the bottom of the hill. So essentially, instead of having a tree savanna from the top of this, you know, 60, 80 yards down, it's going to be all the way down to the bottom of the hill and all the way back up. Pretty excited about it. There you guys have it. We're back into the management series. We've got a ton going on. It's almost a little bit too much to juggle here on the property right now between burning, planting food plots, spraying, got the loggers in. It's turkey season. We're going to travel and do turkey hunts. So make sure you guys are keeping up. I'm out of breath from walking up that hill. Probably need to spend a little bit more time pedaling on the Rambo bike. So make sure you take time to subscribe to our channel. That way you don't miss out on any of the management videos or the turkey hunts that we'll be cranking out left and right, probably starting this week or next. So get ready, hang on. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see, comment down below. And guys, until next time, have a better than average day.